K. Montgomery at the 2000 Unitarian Universalist General Assembly, which I think was in Nashville, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. It was actually a pretty good apology. It actually, on the surface, said the kind of things that you should say in an apology. The problem with the apology is that it contained a pledge to do better. It basically contained a pledge to provide proper justice to victims of clergy sexual misconduct, and that did not happen. The UUA continued to protect its ministers and do little or nothing to provide justice to victims of clergy sexual misconduct and so on. No restorative justice to any past victim that I'm aware of. And certainly very little, and if there was any restorative justice, it was done in a very secretive way. So, in 2014, Jim Key delivered the second apology. Well, Jim Key minimized the seriousness of the problem. He said it was only a small number of Unitarian Universalist ministers who were guilty of clergy sexual misconduct, when in fact no less than 400 Unitarian Universalist congregations had been affected by clergy sexual misconduct of one kind or another. And more probably, somewhere around 2/3 or more of Unitarian Universalist congregations have been affected by clergy sexual misconduct of one kind or another. So that was one thing he did. Basically, the apology was just full of weasel-worded bullshit, quite frankly. But perhaps the worst lie in Jim Key's apology is the following words, which is an exact quote. "There were no incidents of abuse of children or elders in my investigations." So, what's that saying? I don't think Jim Key's saying that he didn't abuse anyone in his investigation. I don't think that's the meaning of what he's saying. What he's saying is, to translate that, I investigated personally Unitarian Universalist clergy sexual misconduct, and in my investigations of Unitarian Universalist clergy sexual misconduct, I found zero evidence of any abuse of children or elders in those investigations. That's what he's saying. He's saying he personally investigated clergy sexual misconduct and found zero evidence of sexual abuse of children. Say nothing of elders. This is an outright bald-faced lie. Because I can't really say a whole lot about elders. It's not like the older members of the congregations are the primary targets of Unitarian Universalist clergy sexual predators and so on. They usually go after the younger and more desirable members of the congregation. But when it comes to children, there have been a number of cases where Unitarian Universalist ministers have been charged, tried, and convicted and sentenced to jail terms for sexual abuse of children, including rape. So in other words, some Unitarian Universalist ministers have been charged, tried, and convicted of molestation of children, sexual abuse of children, but not necessarily rape of children. But other Unitarian Universalist ministers, at least one in particular, Reverend Mac Wallace Mitchell, has been charged, tried, and convicted of what Stikeman Elliott Barristers and Solicitors litigation lawyer would describe as the despicable crime known as rape. Specifically, he raped teenage Tibetan refugees who he lured away from their families in India with promises of a better life in America. promised to take them under his wing and, you know, get them educated and so on. And well, yeah, they got an education all right, but not quite the kind of education that they were expecting to get. So this young woman did a really good job of ignoring the signs, although she did look back as she went up the ramp. She did look back towards the signs, so she didn't totally ignore the signs. They're hard to ignore, you know, when they say Unitarian Universalists misuse blasphemy law to cover up and deny pedophilia and rape, but a whole lot of Unitarians do ignore those signs completely, you know. So anyhow, got some people coming this way. Okay, this woman here, I'm pretty sure I've caught her in the act of stealing my picket signs in the past. I think there's video of this woman stealing my picket signs. So anyhow, yeah, the stature and the baseball cap and the other features.
Hello, mon ami.
Très bien, c'est un honneur et un privilège d'être accusé de blasphème dans le 21e siècle par des athées. Merci beaucoup. So this guy's asking how I'm doing in French. I said, I'm doing fine. I said it's an honor and privilege to be accused of blasphemy in the 21st century by atheists. And he said, tu as raison. In other words, you're right. And yeah, I am right. You know, how many people, you know, get to enjoy the truly unique honor and privilege of being accused of the criminal act of blasphemous libel in the 21st century by atheists? Because the Unitarian Universalist Association leaders, who are most responsible for falsely accusing me of blasphemous libel, or at least hiring Stikeman Elliott barristers and solicitors litigation lawyer Maitre Marc-André Coulombe to accuse me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel on behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Association, are atheists. Specifically, UUA President Reverend Dr. Peter Morales, who is ultimately responsible for, you know, the Unitarian Universalist Association's actions in the world, is an atheist. Really no question about it. He's even a somewhat anti-religious atheist. And then there's retired Executive Vice President Kathleen K. Montgomery, who is also clearly an atheist Unitarian Universalist, and she is the person most responsible for coordinating the work of the lawyers of the Unitarian Universalist Association. So she would have played a major role in hiring Stikeman Elliott to accuse me of blasphemous libel. There's two atheists right there who are very much responsible for accusing me of blasphemous libel. So yeah, it's truly a unique experience. And I must say, you know, on the one hand, you know, the reasons for falsely accusing me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel are quite frankly despicable, to use Maitre Coulombe's word. And so, you know, there's a very negative aspect of the Unitarian Universalist Association's false blasphemous libel accusation against me, specifically that the purpose of it is to hide such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers and Sunday school teachers and lay people, etc., from the public by trying to intimidate me into removing blog posts that tell the truth about them. But on the other side of that coin, it really is ludicrous and quite literally laughable that Unitarians are accusing me of blasphemy in the 21st century. So we're up to 27 minutes total of video here. So the first half hour of protesting is almost done, and we'll start another reel soon. But yes, very nice early November day. Still a lot of leaves in the trees. Some of them haven't even changed yet. There's still a fair bit of green, although mostly yellow. And a fair number of trees with the leaves down. Okay, here comes the guy from the itinerary again. I think I might start a new reel now.